Okay, we're in Maui. Traveling to Hawaii has always felt like a dream that has been hovering on the horizon. Something so magical, but also just so out of reach. It lingered on being honest, on my travel list for years. But let me tell you, he didn't feel sorry to obviously joining me on this trip, as I planned it being our honeymoon, quietly waiting for its turn. Upon arrival, we took a shuttle straight to the resort and spent our first afternoon soaking in the serenity, strolling along the beach and letting the tropical breeze actually remind us that we're in Hawaii. I mean, come on, even talking about this now seems very surreal. I don't know why. Here we basically left our luggage on the beach, so then we had time to go around the resort and get to know the place. Okay, I don't know what this was, but I seem to be very excited to be there. To our delight, we spotted turtles on the very first day. I was honestly amazed by the nature over there, and this is just the beginning. And we also spotted turtles on the very first day, which was amazing. Turtles in the water at the moment, and one is there and one is just over there next to it. I hope they will come out. So there we go. And it's so cute. It's massive. They're huge. One surprise we didn't really anticipate at the time was how early the sun sets over here. Yeah, so sunset is around like 6:30 p.m. and coming from Europe, where summer sun actually lingers until 9 p.m. And it felt like time had a different rhythm on this island. And as we can see, I was just taking the time to enjoy myself, thinking I have plenty of time. But now we know that sunset is at 6:30. But it actually turned okay because we needed a quiet evening on the first day to rest from our long flight from California. And on top of this, we had a whole week in Hawaii, so we had plenty of time to explore and see the sunsets. Well, they're actually beautiful. So I really felt sorry when I missed it on the first day. And here is our home for the 1 week in Hawaii. That was absolutely gorgeous with a beautiful view over the sea.
I love you when you're singing that song, and I got a lump in my throat 'cause you're gonna sing the words wrong. Is this movie that I think you like? This guy decides to quit his job and head to New York City. This cowboy's running from himself. She's been living on the highest shelf. And they come unstuck.
It was such a traditional Hawaiian home that we truly enjoyed. Then we decided to stay in the resort and went to the nearest restaurant for dinner and had a quiet evening together. Okay, on our second day, we actually quickly realized that making the most out of Maui, we really needed to rent a car. As if you're staying in one place, then that's fine. But if you want to go around the island, you basically need it because the transport there is definitely not reliable. On the way there, of course, I spotted one of their beautiful beaches and I just wanted to stop to have a stroll. However, Dennis got really annoyed because we already had a plan for the day and he was in a rush to pick up the car. Well, we got the car at the end, and yes, such a beautiful scenery driving around the island. We got a classic American Dodge, and as you managed to see, Dennis was basically trying how Dodge this was. renting a car in Hawaii wasn't actually very expensive. It cost us around like $160, which was including the actual deposit. In this case, they've given us a Dodge, but only because they haven't got anything else available, and this is for their cost basically. Over here, of course, we stopped to one of their local street shops, which was very traditional. And we got coconuts to drink. It turns out that the green coconuts actually are much better than the brown ones. I didn't know that. And here you can actually see a papaya, a very natural papaya. Something that I haven't really tried because I have never felt that I like it, because you know in Europe we hardly get a good papaya. But this one was honestly like honey dripping out of the papaya. It was delicious. And here she's basically telling us which papaya is better, and it turns out of course that the yellow papaya is much sweeter than the green one. But then she told us that if we want to eat it in a couple of days, it's better to get a green one because it's got much more life in it. This wasn't the end of it, of course. She allowed us to try a few of their samples. They had fruity biscuits and a few of other things in the shop that we happily tried, and we ended up buying a few of them to bring back to Europe. Then we were back on the road, and Dennis got some of these jerky crisps, like beef jerky. I personally don't like them, but he seems to like them quite a lot, and they're quite rich in protein, so they're quite good. But I did stick to my coconut. We made our way to the Twin Falls, which is a lush, easily accessible waterfall on the famed road to Hana. Once we found a car park near the waterfalls, we stopped and we just decided to have our papayas because they just smelled so good that I couldn't resist it. Just give a moment to that papaya. It was so sweet that my mouth is literally watering at the moment. Then we headed towards the waterfalls that was surrounded by vibrant greenery and the hum of a jungle life. Visiting the actual waterfalls and the jungle was absolutely free of charge, which was incredible because it's accessible to everyone, but you needed to pay for the car park, which was like $10.